Good morning. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. So glad to have you here with me today. So last week we worked with the spiritual thermometer a little bit. I mentioned it at some point when we were all talking, all meditating, listening together. And I wanted to bring it up again today because it's such a great tool in our meditation time. And there's actually been a couple of classes at Center for Enlightenment on the spiritual thermometer the last couple of weeks. So you might want to check those out at centerforenlightenment.com. But here we go. We have spiritual power tool number 3, the spiritual thermometer. Let's see if I can get that glare off of that a little bit. And you can see that it's just a thermometer. It's just a wonderful image to help us check in where we are. And so if our emotional state, let's say our state of being is at a 5 is in the middle, you can see that 5 is where we're just kind of bopping along and doing our day and, maybe not feeling emotional, but just kind of moving forward, kind of feeling neutral. 5 is neutral. And then anything below a 5 is when we're in our emotions. And we talked last week about, we can include those as emotions that we don't like to feel, usually sadness, fear, anger, frustration, worry, that kind of thing. But it also includes emotions in which we are feeling um, kind of excited. Any kind of excited state is there because um, if you have ever felt just so elated that you start agreeing to things, telling people you'll do things for them, and then you think about it later and you go, oh yeah, that wasn't such a good idea to say yes to that. Then because that's below a 5 also. And anytime our adrenaline is running the show or our cortisol or our emotions, then it clouds the thinking part of our brains and we make decisions that aren't necessarily in our best interest. So it helps us to have a tool where we can measure where we're at um, so that we are making sure our decisions are in the best interest of ourselves as well as the people around us. And it's so easy, I think, to look at um, it's so easy to make decisions in our emotions because our emotions are very motivating. Um, our emotions are connected to the fight or flight, limbic system, the lower part of our brain that is part of our survival mechanism. So, of course, when we've been trained for eons of time as human beings to listen to those emotions and follow them because they were there to keep us out of danger, right? We don't have the dangers now in our existence that human beings did 500 years ago, you know, thousands of years ago, whatever. We are safe and we are able to take things slower. And it's interesting because the last few years I've just watched so much the culture of us, our culture, our world start moving faster. Things are moving faster. Everything is faster. And we get our food faster. We get our, we get our TV faster. We don't want to sit for commercials. We don't have the patience that we had 50 years ago, let's say. And or we do, it's different, right? But everything is moving faster. And yet all of the therapy methods that are being researched and shown to provide greater peace of mind are all about slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. So the spiritual thermometer is a wonderful tool to gauge where we're at and to help us slow down. Am I in my emotions? Am I angry, tired? Our tiredness and our hunger can be cause us to feel in the low 5 range. And are we feeling excited? Like, yeah, I can do anything, which We can ultimately, but we want to make sure that anything that we're doing is in the best interest of all concerned. And we make that decision when we're above a five. You can see the above a five. It shows up as backwards on my screen, so hopefully it's showing up in the right direction for you guys. Above a five is our clear thinking space. It's where we discern, okay, am I feeling just excited and just overwhelmed by good feelings right now, or am I really thinking clearly? You know, and we love those good feelings, and that's great, but they're still below a five. You know, it's we just don't want to be run by the good feelings. We want to be run by that higher space in us, that higher self that we come to meditation to move into for our day and for our week. So, anyway, it's a wonderful tool. This is found in a book called Spiritual Power Tools Support for Your Soul. And you can find this at Center for Enlightenment online anytime. It's always there. You can download an image. For years, I have had a copy of this on my refrigerator just to remind myself to check in and um, keep checking in with myself throughout the day because our emotions are coming and going all throughout the day. We know how much they come and go in our half an hour meditation time that we do on Mondays. So you can imagine how much they're doing that throughout the day. So, anyway, in our meditation time, we practice being above that five. We practice observing that, okay, I'm below a five right now, or here comes an emotion up from the underneath of our minds, and I'm in my meditation time right now, so I'm just going to let it be. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to notice it. And that's being the observer self. And the spiritual thermometer is a tool that helps us develop that observer self so that we can be stronger in watching those emotions that come up and not acting out of them, just being there. And if we need to postpone something because we're below a five, then we postpone something and um, we'll get to it when it feels right to get to it. So, so back to our meditation time, we practice observing and discerning what are emotions below a five, what are thoughts that are coming from the emotions that are below a five. And we practice not identifying with them. We practice saying, okay, I see that, but that's not who I am. I am presence. I am that higher self in me. Call it whatever you want to, your peaceful state, your calm state, but that is even in how our brains are made up, that is the higher place in our brain. It's our more human part of the brain and beyond, if you will. Um, so there's a value in seeing that when we are higher on that spiritual thermometer, we are in a higher part of ourselves. And that's true for physiologically at our brain level, if you want to stay in the science part of it, and it's true just as at a consciousness level where, you know, we are above our emotions and above in that space above where we can kind of just see them coming up and let them go. So we're going to practice that today. And one of the things I was using in my meditation time this morning was the pure air in, everything else out. I just love that. And, you know, if you get bored with that and you don't want to do that, feel free to use your own mantra to just kind of help yourself stay in that neutral place as you're watching all the thoughts and emotions come and go, but use something that keeps you in your center. So I invite you right now to get comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths to let your mind body system know that we're switching gears. Bring in that center. We let the breath return to a natural pace. And if you're feeling, I want to use the word discombobulated between your mind and body, and one thing that really helps is just breathing into the count of four and breathing out to the count of four. It helps synchronize your mind body system. Just feel the body relaxing, the mind slowing down. We're using our attention on the breath to quiet the mind and still the body. I invite you right now to let's measure yourself on that spiritual thermometer. 0 to 10, where are you on that thermometer? Are you at a 5 and just calm and neutral? Is your Monday morning stirred up with emotion and you find yourself somewhere below a 5? It's okay. This isn't about judgment. It's just about being aware. It's okay to say, okay, I'm at a 2 today. I'm at a 2, and just notice what a 2 feels like. Notice the sensations in your body. If that's where you are, or 3 or 1 or 5 or 4, notice what that feels like in your body. You can even have some gratitude for that observation. Thank you. Thank you that I can notice where I am right now. Okay. Thank you that I can notice the body sensations. Thank you that I can notice them instead of reacting to them. You may notice that as you observe any emotions or body sensations, as you observe where you are in that spiritual thermometer, we just notice it as a momentary fact. Those emotions can dissipate as fast as they came. You don't have to do anything about every emotion that surfaces. We just notice it. And if there's more to do, our insides will tell us. And in the meantime, before our meditation time, we just notice. And as we notice, just let it pass through. We're lifted on that spiritual thermometer because that emotion isn't weighing us down below a 5. And we're training ourselves to detach from those emotions, observe them with curiosity and compassion, and we're lifted. We're lifted, lifted, lifted above that 5. Into peace of mind, clarity, greater stillness, what this clarity and peace feels like in your body, and how different it is from anything you're feeling. If you find yourself below a 5 this morning, that clarity feels different, that peace feels different in the body. Feel that peace. Anytime we feel below a 5, we can take time to just notice that sensation, notice the thoughts and feelings going along. with that observation. And we can do whatever we need to do to move ourselves up to that discernment and that clear thinking and that peace of mind of the above a 5 area on the thermometer. And sometimes we can just observe it and it goes away, it dissipates. And that allows us to keep moving forward more clearly instead of not observing that emotion, not knowing where we are on that spiritual thermometer, then acting from emotional states that don't serve us. Sometimes we notice we're below a 5 and we need a little bit more effort and work to let it go, whatever it is that we're holding on to. So using this spiritual thermometer isn't about denying what we're feeling, it's about noticing it and seeing, is this something I can just let go, or do I need to spend more time releasing something, forgiving someone, forgiving ourselves, and allowing ourselves to move back into that place of peace. So if you have more time to meditate, I invite you to do so. If you need to go about your day, just take a couple of deep breaths from that place of clarity at maybe you're feeling now at a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or 9 or even 10. Take that with you. Into your day, into your week, as well as bringing with you the spiritual thermometer so you can check in with yourself throughout the day and see where you can let go, not engage with the emotions, and allow clarity to take its place. And either way, I invite you to practice with this week. I will take this time to say that next week I will be on vacation. So I will send out a recorded Monday morning meditation so we all can tap into this time together and we can keep that energy there. I will tap into it where I am and be with you in this meditation space. We've created such a good energy here together every Monday, so I will definitely be tapping into that. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you live in 2 weeks and feel your vibe next week when we tap into it together. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.